What is up, guys? This is Powerbang, and today we are talking CWL on the main channel, and I've got a special guest with me here, a long-awaited collaboration with my good buddy Jake from ONEHIVE.
What is up, PB?
Oh, not much, man. I know I've heard it on my channel a bunch. You know, you hear it through the grapevine. Everybody's always asking us to work together, to make videos together. And I think with the CWL, there's now the opportunity to do that in a way that makes sense now that you're back.
Absolutely. Always my number one request, and I'm sure the Banger Nation, as well as all the One Hive Raids fans, are going to be tickled. So
For sure. So
hopefully
one
something
thing,
we continue to do, right?
absolutely, we want to do this every week. We're going to call it the CWL forecast, and we're missing one special guest this week who is on his way to Finland right now, and that is our good buddy Clash with Ash. Looking forward to bringing him on the show as well. We're going to kick around some predictions, some forecast, I guess, for the matchups that are going to be going down this week in week 2.
All right. Sounds awesome. Let's
Cool.
get to it.
Let's get into it. So the first matchup we've got on the docket in week 2, we've got the Dark Looters versus Cold September. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Man, I can't wait for this one because I want to see how Dark Looters reacts to a loss. We know how they are when they're on top. They're just a dominant, just nasty force. But coming off that first ever CWL loss, it's going to be interesting. However, I do have to probably give the nod to Dark Looters. I think they're going to come out on top. I think they're going to be fired up, refocused, and Cold September might be in for a long day.
I agree with you on the assessment there. I think the Dark Looters, knowing a lot of these guys in person and having a chance to hang out with them at events, they are not going to take kindly to a loss. I don't think that they're going to get discouraged about it, as they did go down on percentage to War Whales, which is a fantastic clan. I know both of our clans have significant experience playing those guys. No shame at all in losing the way they did. They cleared the 10s. They even got an 11 triple, put up 115 stars, which was the second highest mark in the league. So it's not like they came out and disappointed in week 1. So I expect them to get a handily one victory over Cold September, who right now has a little bit of a roster struggle going on, trying to replace some people that departed the clan. So I wish them the best of luck rebuilding in a hurried manner. I know we were in a very similar situation last year in WHF.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they, it wasn't a bad performance. They didn't come out and crap the bed. They absolutely killed it. Just it was just someone else
They
that
just
brought their
didn't
A
kill it
game to it.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
All
sure.
right, so we've got the Dark Looters in week 1's first matchup. So next up, Clantanamo Bay versus Beast Mode.
Man, this is going to be. I think this is going to be a really close one. Obviously, Guantanamo Bay winning, pretty convincingly in week 1. Beast Mode winning, but not by as much. I'm going to give the nod to Guantanamo Bay, but I do think it's going to be a competitive war.
Gotcha. This is where we differ a little bit on opinions. I'm gonna take Beast Mode over Clantanamo Bay in week 2, but I agree with your assessment that it should be a very close war. Clantanamo Bay came out. They really took North Remembers out to the woodshed, and North Remembers again, one of the teams in the league right now that's struggling a little bit, trying to rebuild a little bit. Again, I like those guys over there. I wish them the best of luck. But we've got Beast Mode, who after an 0-4 start in season 1, they've really come on and they've been fairly strong. Always putting up, league close to the league high in destruction percentage and whatnot. So I think Beast Mode, I'm going to give them the nod in week 2.
Yeah, they did beat my good friends over at 2.0, so obviously they're coming out strong. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a one star war, but I think Guantanamo Bay's got it. But hey, we'll see who wins that one.
All right, sounds good. Next up, we've got Power COC versus Faked Wargasm.
Yeah, another one that I think is going to be close, but Power COC not the best performance coming out of the gates against Immoral Thieves last week. So I'm going to probably lean Faked Orgasm on this one. Again, I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 star war. I don't think that several of these you're going to hear me say that because I don't think you look back at last week, there was a ton of 1 or 2 star wars. I think it's going to be the same thing in week 2, but I'm going to give the Faked Orgasm the nod on that one.
Isn't that awesome about like the parity across the league? I know in season 1 we had a lot of really good clans, and the league as a whole, it was great entertainment value, but there was a definite like bottom tier of the league, and there was a
Yeah.
definite top tier of the league. And this season, it seems like as a whole, it's a lot more evenly distributed as far as the talent.
No question. And there was a couple that were pretty lopsided wars, but I mean, it's crazy. And one thing I want to ask you about, we're kind of in the middle of a match here, but from what I understand, and I wasn't around for the start of the league season one, the hype, the level of engagement, and the people tuning in is 2 to 3 times that what you were seeing early weeks last season.
Absolutely. I feel like the brand has been established to an extent. Like everybody looks at CWL as like one of the staples now of Clash of Clans. I don't know if it's solely responsible for a revival, but I know it was the first thing in a long time where people were telling me, "Hey, man, really digging what's going on with the CWL. This is I'm coming back. This is the first time
Yeah,
I'd heard people like coming back to the game. Yourself included is a great example of that."
absolutely. Actually, so who do you got in that one?
All right, so Power COC I think is going to struggle a little bit up top due to some recent happenings.
Yeah.
I've got Faked Orgasm in that one as well. Again, I feel like it should be a fairly close war. But having played the Power COC guys, they're a solid clan, and if they get their roster struggles figured out, I think they can put up a good fight. But I got Faked Orgasm in a close war in that one.
Nice, good call. All right, Elite Gaming and Xiaomi Kit Kat. I like to call them Kit Kat. Kit
Kit
Kat.
Kat, bro, they're gonna kill you. The fence. All right, Elite Gaming and Suomi. Like, Suomi right now is a God. My voice is barely holding out. Let me take a drink. Hold on. Let me
All
get a
good,
little
man.
sip
Go
of
ahead.
beer. All right. Suomi is kind of a wild card right now, in my opinion. They were extremely strong coming into the season. They had a few players catch bans and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know how that affects their roster as a whole, as I'm not like as intimately familiar with them as I am with other clans in the league. So I think they're a bit of a wild card. They came out in week one and they got pretty much thoroughly throttled by Spartan's Legacy. Um, Elite Gaming struggled a little bit at the start, but they came back and they gave Bye Forever a good war. But I'm going to give the nod in this one to Suomi Kotkat, and it should be 2 or 3 star war. That's my take.
Wow, really? Okay, I'm gonna differ with you again here. I'm gonna put on my psychiatrist hat because here's what I'm thinking. As you mentioned, a couple of ban issues, a couple of things like that, and really one of the worst beatings from week one Spartans Legacy put on them. I think that combined with Elite Gaming sort of shaking the nerves off of their first appearance, I think that's played a role in the first week matchup against Bye Forever. As you said, they did have a strong showing there. I'm going Elite Gaming. Going to be close, but I think they're going to take this one.
I like the pick. Elite Gaming was a clan that a lot of people they had issues with them even being an invite for whatever reason, and I disagreed with that entirely. Elite Gaming, we've played in WHF multiple times,
Yeah,
and they're a solid clan. If I could say from the outside looking in, the one place where they needed definite improvement was 10 versus 10 play. If they get a couple of key players there, they will have an opportunity to beat anybody. And I mean, that getting a couple key players there could mean just getting better internally. So
yeah.
I don't think that they're one to sleep on. I don't think that they're going to be a pushover by any means. I think they definitely have earned their spot in the league, and I'm excited to see what they can do moving forward.
All right, our second one that's different. I like it. PWC Midwinters.
Man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Both clans underperformed, I'm sure, to their standards in week one. PWC getting steamrolled by the Swarm, and Midwinters losing to WHF. I'm gonna take PWC in this one. Again, a little bit of an unknown there with some of their roster issues going on. But the way Midwinters played in week one, it will take a pretty drastic turnaround in order for them to be competitive against a clan of PWC's caliber.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I know what you're saying with PwC. There is a bit of unknown there. We don't know who's going to replace those spots that need to be filled. But Midwinters, as you said, really struggled week one. I watched some of your stream, and it just sort of seemed like they just couldn't get in a groove of those 3 stars. It was always coming up a little bit short.
Right.
I'm going to go PwC.
All right. We've got Kansha and Six Schlitzes next up. And I don't know if it's Kansha or Kansha. It's a Japanese clan new to the league. So interesting to see them kind of step into the spotlight and do their thing. Who do you got?
Man, this is honestly a picket match for me. I think it could go either way. If I had to give the nod, I would probably go Six Schlitzes just because they're coming off a win. maybe a little bit more confidence, maybe a little bit more, just focus going into it. You never know how a clan's going to react to a loss, especially an early loss like this. So it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cancha win, but I'm going to pick success on this one.
That's on point, man. I'm the same way. Kansha for me, coming from Japan, and for whatever reason, the elite clash community in the U.S. and North America and Europe is pretty much disconnected from Asia and the clans that are doing their thing over there. I don't know if there's any type of structure or leagues or anything like that that they're running in Japan and Korea and China and other places in Southeast Asia. So they're a complete unknown, a complete wild card coming into the league, and it's been exciting to like kind of watch them throughout week one. They came out and they threw down almost 95% total destruction against Tactical Inc. and threw up 112 stars, which those numbers are better than the majority of the league, even though it happened in a loss.
Yeah.
So as far as picking it, I got to go with Six Schlitzes by a nose. They took down War and Glory last week, and War and Glory is a very good clan. And they were who came out on top from the midseason league last season. So I think Six Schlitzes is playing well right now. They've got some talent up top for sure. They can carry them, and I'll give them the nod in this matchup.
Yeah, it sounds like you're about like me. You think that success will take it, but wouldn't be surprised if it went the other
Oh,
way.
not at all.
Yeah.
With their performance in week one, Kancha, I feel like they could surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. All right, Emphatic Elite, Mariana Trench.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough
Yeah.
one. I'm curious to hear your take on that one first, man.
That's
What do you
sort of why I
got?
want to throw it to you first. But
All right, all
no,
right.
no,
I'll take
no,
it.
no, I'll take it. I
All
won't
right.
dodge the bullet. I'll take it. Again, going to be a close war, 1 or 2 stars. I really think this is going to go Mariana Trench's way. I base that partially off. We had a war with them in the offseason. They did really well. They were impressive. Emphatic Elite edged out a win against North Watchers. I think they might surprise Emphatic Elite. I think they might say, oh, they lost their first match. Dark Looter Z beat them by 3 stars, but Dark Looter Z is top tier. They're strong for sure. I'm giving it to Mariana Trench. I think it's going to be a good war, but I think they're going to edge it out.
Very nice. I'm in the same boat with you, man. Mariana Trench, we just played them in a midweek random war in WHF just this week, and they're talented. They beat us by 2 stars. It was a solid performance from them, and my concern with picking them is they've been fairly inconsistent as far as their performance from like the last quarter of season one up until now. They've lost some wars that I feel like they should have been in, and they got absolutely throttled in a couple of wars last season where it was like, really? Like they were undefeated most of the season, and then all of a sudden they just came out and laid an egg. But I guess that can happen to even the best clans. It's very rare when you see somebody come out and just dominate week after week after week.
Right.
So I'm gonna give the nod to Mariana Trench in this one. Although Emphatic Elite, I feel like even though they missed out on CWL play in season one, they've kept together a pretty solid roster, and they're playing at a very high level. They're beating good clans, and they're hanging with pretty much everybody they're playing with. So I expect good things from them this season, and I've got them ranked pretty highly in the league. So in this one, I got to give Mariana Trench the slight edge, and I think they'll come away with the win.
Yeah, not a dig at emphatically at all. I agree with you on all that. I think they're going to do well. I don't know. I just got a feeling that Mariana Trench is sort of in a good spot, And when your clan's in a good spot, sometimes you can even overperform and beat
Right.
someone that maybe you shouldn't have. So that's
And
where
you
I'm
look
looking
at a good clan like Mariana Trench, and it's like, can I see them starting 0-2, to a
Yeah,
season? I mean, maybe,
100%.
but I just think that they're gonna find somewhere, to dig deep and come back and get that win.
No, I agree with you. All right,
All right,
one
let's go
more,
with
one more.
one more for this half of the video, and then we'll do the second half of the picks over on the OneHive Raids channel. Speaking of OneHive Raids, the matchup for this one here is Annihilate versus OneHive. Who do you
Yeah, I
got?
mean, I don't think you have to ask. I got to go with my people. I think one half
Annihilate,
wins.
right?
Obviously a good performance out of week one. I think it was a big win. I mean, Reddit Omega just a bunch of savages, and for them to come off that and pull it out when we were behind in that war and really stay focused and come out with a win. Annihilate coming off a loss. I just feel like we've got the mental edge. We've got we're just in what I said, in a good place. I think when your clan's in a good place, you're firing on all cylinders. You're going to be hard to beat. When you got the talent that OneHive does. So I'm going, 2 to 3 star war here for OneHive.
Hey, I like the confidence, my friend, and I will agree with you 100%. Annihilate got beat by Red Alchemy last week. 111, 110, I believe was the score on that one. And,
Yep.
you know, they had a pretty decent performance, but decent doesn't get it done against ONEHIVE. And you've got to come out and play a solid war from start to finish. And one thing I've always said about ONEHIVE, and I know this from personal experience, is you have to finish against them. You
Yeah.
have to have guys up top that can get it done. I can't tell you how many times I felt good about our position in our
Yeah.
WHF versus ONEHIVE matchups, and we just didn't close the door. And ONEHIVE came back, and they did the same thing this last week against Reddit Omega, who is a very talented clan, and they picked up that 1-star victory. So I see ONEHIVE taking a 3 or 4-star victory in this one, and really solidifying their place in the top tier of the CWL for Season 2.
Yep, I have to agree, and not just because I'm, obviously affiliated and a member of One Hive, but I agree with you. We have been behind more times than you can count, and so it doesn't shake the guys. You know what I mean? They've been there. You like you said, you've got to close the door. You got to lock it, maybe nail it shut. Otherwise, you are leaving a chance.
You can't leave ONEHIVE a chance. I've always
Yeah,
noticed that about you guys is like
yeah,
you've gotta when you have the opportunity, you've got to step on their throat. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah.
can't let them squirm away because they will come back and find a way to win.
Exactly. All right, man. Halfway
Sounds
through.
good. Well, hey guys, appreciate you guys tuning in for this episode. Really cool to have Jake on the channel. Look forward to Ash coming on with us next week, and we'll do like a 3 Studley dude round table. That's stupid as hell. But anyway, we will get around the the mic again and talk CWL action. But for the second half of these predictions and forecasting, we're going to go over to the ONEHIVE Raids channel. That's Jake's channel. You guys can find the link in the description. But leave a comment. Let us know what you thought on this format, what you'd like to see us do better. But that's all I got. Jake, you wanna say goodbye, and then I'll sign us out of here?
All right, later, Banger Nation.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into the video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.